Good afternoon and welcome to Chargers Outside Zone. I'm Chuck.
I'm Thomas, and today we're looking at my 7-round Chargers mock draft.
Yeah, we went ahead and used the Draft Network simulator and put together a Chargers 7-round mock. Just a quick reminder, this is a hobby. We are not experts, and we do our best to stay away from hot takes. So as we've shown before, the Chargers have 10 picks.
These are all the draft picks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so round 1, pick 17, round 3, pick 79, round 4, pick 123, round 5, pick 160, round 6, pick 195, round 6, pick 214, round 7, 4 picks 236, 254, 255, and 260. Now, the Draft Network draft simulator stops
cuts us off at a certain number.
At pick like 256 to the Cardinals, so we didn't do pick 260, but
So don't be angry in the comments.
because it's only one late pick.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, as we've shown before,
These are all the needs.
You know, the needs that we showed in the projected 53-man roster.
Episode.
Right tackle, defensive line, edge 3, linebacker, right guard, a CB4, tight end, safety, wide receiver 3, running back 2. You know, many different outlets and many different people have different views on how this should be put together. So we're going to today show you
how we put it together.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and show you how we prioritized in this simulator. So, with that, you are now on the clock in round 1, pick 17. The phone is ringing. Jerry Jones is once again calling you, saying, Thomas, I really want to move up to 17.
And I would say for what?
Well, I'm not going to tell you who I'm drafting, but I want to move up to 17. I'll give you 24 and 56 if you give me 17 and 79.
Nope.
And you once again hang up the phone on Jerry Jones. A very sad event. So you stick at 17.
But I would trade it for somebody else.
Potentially. So in this simulation, at pick 17, you once again hang up the phone on Jerry, and you stay with your pick from your mock draft 1.2, and you go offensive tackle Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa.
Just to protect Justin Herbert.
Yep, add to that offensive line.
I mean,
you can see here in
this
his...
isn't rocket science.
Yeah, you can see here in his mock draftable, he really fills a spiderweb chart up for offensive linemen at 6'7" and an 8, 325 pounds, arm length 34 and a quarter inches, very good 40-yard dash. Vertical is the least ranked stat. So he projects as a great offensive tackle prospect according to the measurables.
Yes, and around, our area.
Yeah. And so if you're on the Draft Network and looking at the prospect information, Dre Harris wrote up that his ideal role is as a starting offensive tackle. I believe...
Which we need.
Which with the Chargers could use an upgrade. I think you obviously put him at right tackle, leave Rashawn Slater at left tackle, and Dre Harris comments that...
And call it good.
Yeah, he comments that he's best in a power run scheme, would suit his skill set best, but could play in any scheme.
So jack of all trades.
Correct. So we definitely...
Scheme-wise.
So you're happy with the Trevor Penning pick?
Yes.
You know, sticking with that in back-to-back mocks here. Different types of mocks, but sticking with him.
Yes.
Which then brings us to round 3, pick 79. The phone is not ringing anymore.
We traded it for Khalil Mack, our second rounder.
Right.
Which was a great flip for a second round pick.
Yes.
I think it was a steal.
Yes. Getting Khalil Mack for a second round pick is a steal.
Was higher Ray robbery.
Highway robbery.
Yes.
All right. So that brings us to round 3, pick 79. And with this pick, you decided to stick at edge, going off the round 2 Khalil Mack edge.
For edge 3.
Bringing in Drake Jackson from USC, playing in LA in college, keeping him in LA.
Keeping him home.
And, from a mock draftable spider web, you have his height, weight here that are not that are lower on the spectrum, 20th percentile, 25th percentile, respectively. Being at 6'2" and 5'8", 254 pounds. It does have decent wingspan. Arm length is 34 inches, so he has a chance to get into somebody get into somebody with a long arm. And his vertical and broad are quite nice at 37-inch vertical, 127-inch broad jump. Didn't do the 40-yard or the 10-yard split. Obviously, the 10-yard split is part of the 40. And did not do a 3-cone. You got to imagine with that vertical and broad jump, that explosiveness, that his other athletic marks would be decent.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
I was drinking tea.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, from an athletic standpoint, bringing him in fit well. Dre Harris from the Draft Network projects him as an edge rusher in a 3-4.
Which is good.
Which is a great fit for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Chargers, yes.
One note he made was he's a little unrefined as a pass rusher, but wins with pure athleticism and quickness. So you got to imagine if you bring him in as edge 3, maybe Chris Rumpf is edge 3 and Drake Jackson is your edge 4. Both those players, both developmental, both learning from Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa. I mean, what better
pass rush duo
to learn from than those two? If he's unrefined, those two can quickly help him become more refined. In game, you could potentially be in the fourth quarter with a lead.
With a lead.
The defense on the field, other team trying to pass the ball a lot to catch up.
Pin his ears back and
let him rip off the edge and see what happens.
Let him rip.
So, I think we both liked bringing in Drake Jackson here in round 3 at pick 79. Round 4, pick 123. You chose to go cornerback Kobe Bryant, Cincinnati.
Now, Sauce is probably going
early.
Early. I mean, top 4, probably. It seems like here's my opinion, not to do with the Chargers, but a lot of Cincinnati people are going to get drafted in this draft.
A lot of prospects out of Cincinnati this year. And then you go ahead in this mock and take Kobe Bryant at pick 123. Decent height for cornerback. Maybe you'd like to see a little bit longer arms, but Good 10-yard split. Not the quickest. Obviously, if he ran a quicker 40, he might not be on the board still. But one thing, he did hit the bench. Not a lot of prospects this year hit the bench and did 17 reps at 225. So
17?
17 reps at 225 pounds.
I mean,
I think that's pretty quality for an outside corner.
that is second round.
Well, I don't know exactly where it falls, but it definitely is good for him to have. Comments from Damian Parson on the Draft Network. Ideal role starting number 2 corner, field corner, and his scheme fit is a mixture of man zone and cover 1 and cover 3.
Yes, it is.
And I think bringing somebody by the name of Kobe Bryant to the city of LA, people might enjoy, bringing him in. Yes. And if his ideal role is a starting number 2, you have J.C. Jackson, put him opposite J.C. Jackson, let Asante Samuel play that slot role. I think this would be a quality ad.
And, J.C. Jackson with the Patriot Way. Probably.
I'm not sure what the Patriot Way has to do with Chargers outside zone, but let's move on.
But, yeah. My point was he'll help whoever the cornerback is that we draft with, the NFL life.
Right. Kobe Bryant could definitely learn a lot from J.C. Jackson, who's been in the league now for a little while, and pick up good habits, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So round 5, pick 160. You stick at Cincinnati and take running back Jerome Ford.
For an RB2 position.
Yeah, and I think, not the fullest of spider webs here, but what does stand out is that 4.46 40-yard dash for a running back. Not very explosive with a 31-inch vertical, but decent broad jump. And Joe Marino from the Draft Network sees his ideal role as a 1A, 1B type back that is the primary short yardage back. And
which we need.
Which would be great to get Austin Eckler off the field on short yardage, have somebody else in there. And as far as scheme fit, any scheme fit, and Joe Marino made some comments that Ford is a no-nonsense runner that showcases good vision, power, and decision-making with the football.
So basically a Najee Harris type runner.
Well, yeah, not exactly Najee, but
that exact.
Yeah, but type. A power runner, where he differs, from Najee is they say he has a second gear. So if he's in on a down, and you get him in the open field, he has big play potential.
You can rip him for a big play.
Yep. As we move on to round 6, pick 195, you go interior offensive lineman Cade Mays out of Tennessee.
Again, offensive line help.
Yep. And
it's to help with the offensive line loss of free agent that we lost to the Eagles.
No, I think you're talking Scott Quisenberry to the Texans.
Oh,
Michael Schofield, Ode Abushi. Those three no longer on the team. if you look at Cade Mays, he has some areas of his mock draftable spider web that stand out. In particular, wingspan, arm length, and his 3-cone.
Basically, what we need for an offensive lineman.
So you have some some decent traits there, and once again, Joe Marino from the Draft Network, he sees his ideal role as a developmental guard, scheme fit being gap blocking run scheme, and notes that that Cade Mays was a 4-year starter, has experience at all 5 positions, which is a nice benefit, that versatility.
Also a jack of all trades type.
Yeah, but if you can, if you're able to move him to left guard, left tackle, center, right tackle, that kind of versatility is always needed when usually you have about eight, you're dressing 8 offensive linemen in a game. So, he goes on to say the majority of that time has been spent at right guard, where I think he projects best in the NFL. And that guard position we were talking about was
right
guard. And in our pre-production meeting, we talked a little bit about pairing up a Cade Mays and a Trevor Penning on that right-hand side of the line.
That's kind of pulling back the curtain there.
Yeah, a little pulling back the curtain, if you will. But if you pair those two up, we see and we read that both players have a nasty streak.
Yes.
And so, if you have a nasty right side of the line, that
bodes well for Justin Herbert.
Bodes well for Justin Herbert and bodes well for the running game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, moving on, at round 6, pick 214, you went wide receiver Jalen Naylor out of Michigan State.
Now, there's rumors that...
yeah, let's go ahead and address the rumors at this point.
Debo.
Yeah, so if you read, Twitter, and if the Chargers are somehow able to land a Debo Samuel, then all bets are off that they take wide receiver in the draft
at all,
and then we're just all happy having Debo on the team, right?
Yes. Also, the director for YouTube.
Yeah. So but in this mock we did this pre-Debo rumors, and we went ahead and took Jalen Naylor. Now, if you look at his mock draftable, he doesn't fill his spider web up very much, but where he does fill it is in the vertical and the broad jump. So explosive, decent 3-cone, 7-second 3-cone, not elite. Maybe get some pushback there that's not that great. 4-5 second 40-yard dash. So, not terrible. But, comments made about him by Kyle Krabs on the Draft Network. He is a depth receiver. It would be his ideal role. I think, with the Chargers having 5 wides at this point.
With the Chargers, that's...
he projects to wide receiver 4 or 5. Fits best in a spread offense. I think, I think Justin Herbert does a great job of spreading the ball around. I don't know if that exactly is what he means there by spread offense, but Naylor is a speed. He goes on to comment, Naylor is a speedy athlete who offers gracefully acceleration skills in the open field. He won frequently with double moves and vertical routes downfield. So, if you're adding a wide receiver to the room with Justin Herbert as your quarterback,
any wide receiver would work.
Why not vertical routes downfield?
Yes.
If your quarterback can throw it 65 yards,
Why not?
why not? All right. Round 7. So we get to these late round picks. Pick 236. You went linebacker Chance Campbell out of Ole Miss. And, decent height, 6'2" and 3/8. A little on the lighter side at 232 pounds. In an NFL program, I imagine he'll be able to add a little bit of weight there.
Weight. Yeah.
Wingspan and arm length are not ideal, but man, he at 4.57, 40-yard dash, 40-inch vertical, which is 2 inches higher than wide receiver Jalen Naylor, and a broad jump of 127. That's 1 inch shorter than Jalen Naylor jumped. So you have a linebacker here, 30 to 40 pounds heavier than Jalen Naylor, with the same vertical and broad.
So if we can pick both of those up, that's...
So I think adding that level of athleticism this late in the draft, anybody's gonna want to take that. Dre Harris from the Draft Network, ideal role inside linebacker. He projects him more into a 4-3 defense than a 3-4. Once again, at pick 236, you're going to overlook that portion of it. If he's not on the field, he's definitely playing special teams. And here Dre Harris went on to say he plays with good football IQ and instincts, which place him always around the football.
That's always good for defense.
And if you're on the defensive side of the ball,
I mean, it's
a good place to be.
I mean, there's no more to say here.
All right. Round 7, pick 254. Bringing in interior defensive lineman Christopher Hinton out of Michigan. His dad played, I believe, offensive line for the Indianapolis Colts. So you get a legacy guy here for the NFL. Power 5 school, Michigan. Interior defensive line this late in the draft. 6'3" and 5/8, 305 pounds. Adding to that interior defensive line room. Get some rotation.
Yes.
Kyle Krabs sees his ideal role as rotational developmental 3-4 defensive end in an odd front defense that requires 2 gapping front. Now, once again, we are not experts, so we couldn't tell you if that's a great fit for the Chargers.
Experts.
That odd front defense. We do know they run an odd front most of the time. Whether that requires 2 gapping front.
What's an odd front?
Odd front is, 3. You have 3 defensive linemen or 5 with, edge rushers. But he goes on to say, Kyle Krabs goes on to say, I don't necessarily see a lot of upward mobility to unlock additional value in his game, but I do consider him to be a high floor early down player. So we can have him on the field first down, second down, rotate out and get a defensive lineman with some pass rush on late and long downs.
Somewhere in there.
So,
yeah.
You all right over there?
Yes.
All right. Round 7, pick 255. You went safety Bubba Bolden out of Miami. And, decent, some decent measurables. 40-yard dash probably stands out the most at 4.47. Brentley Wiseman from the Draft Network sees him as a developmental free safety. I think adding free safety is probably better than adding strong safety.
At the Chargers' need, yes, at this point.
Yeah. Bubba's a little scheme versatile. And Brentley goes on to say, overall, Bolden has upside because of his physical attributes, but his inconsistencies with tackling, angles, and his inconsistency staying deep too often results in big plays for the offense.
Which is not good for defense.
Which hopefully would be improved, and I think the key word in there was
not good for
was inconsistency. Yeah. So bring him in, get him to be more consistent, and maybe you have a good developmental free safety there. So, as we said before, pick 260 isn't in the draft network. We didn't draft pick 260, but we ended up, Thomas, selecting these guys, ended up with a priority of right tackle Trevor Penning at pick 17.
Which
protect Justin Herbert.
Yes.
Adding edge 3 or edge 4 and Drake Jackson at pick 79. Bringing Kobe Bryant, who at pick 123, if he gets on the field as a number 2 outside corner, that would be tremendous value at that point.
Yes. RB2 as well.
You brought in RB2, Jerome Ford. Cade Mays, some upside there, some versatility. If he can come in and be your right guard, that would be fantastic.
Yes.
Adding a Jalen Naylor, wide receiver 4 or 5.
If we don't get Debo.
If Debo doesn't happen. Athletic linebacker Chance Campbell. Probably doesn't improve the top end of that linebacker room, but that certainly adds depth and special teams.
Yes, it does.
Defensive line, Christopher Hinton. Early down rotational, like we mentioned. And safety, Bubba Bolden. So, yeah, that brings us to the end of this episode. Join us next time. We have
Superchargers fan.
Yeah, we'll be having a friend of the pod, San Diego Supercharger fan extraordinaire,
Tim,
to come on and do his
7-round mock draft
for the Chargers. We'll be doing that live
for the pod
from the Draft Network simulator,
well. And as well, at some point, we're doing my mock draft 2.0.
Yep.
Closer to the draft.
Right.
I mean, we didn't really get on the podcasting scene until late this year.
Right. But we're still going to go through a mock draft 2.0, and that'll come out Tuesday. And then we'll just be 2 days away at that point, and we'll be getting into round 1 and on Thursday. Next Thursday. And then rounds 2 and 3 on Friday. And then we'll do a reaction video. Well, not instant reaction, but give our take on the picks made by the Chargers during rounds 1 through 3.
The LA Chargers.
And
then we'll figure out what to do from there.
Yeah, and then we'll be putting together more content and ideas as we get into the off season. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Bye.
All right, so thank you if you made it this far into the show. Really appreciate you taking the time to join us. If you don't mind, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, subscribe on YouTube. We want to generate...
Hit that like button.
Yeah, hit the like button. The notification button also helps. And please follow us on Twitter at LAC Outside Zone. The YouTube channel is Chargers Outside Zone. We have a website. Once again, it's just for uploading podcasts, so not much out there.
But if you want to go there,
feel free. And if you want to be the first to email us at chargersoutsidezone@gmail.com.
We might have you on.
Well, we definitely read the question and answer it the best we can.
See, we
So-
might also have a mailbag at
Yeah.
some point.
So with that, join us every Tuesday and Saturday for a new episode. Really appreciate you taking the time to be with us, and have a great day.
Have a great day.